Hey, what's going on?
How are you? Hi, Todd.
I'm good. How are you doing, Shayna?
Good,
Good to
good.
see you again.
So, can you hear me really good? I forgot to make sure I had this.
Yeah, I can hear you. You were a little distant, but that's okay.
How about now? Sound
Yeah,
better?
sound
Okay.
awesome.
Sorry, we were supposed to do this sound check before and I totally forgot.
That's
Okay.
okay. I do the same thing, but it looks okay. Levels look okay on my side, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
So, guys, welcome back. Today I have Todd Kirchhoff. And Todd and I have done this a few times before. I've been on his channel. He's been on my Gen X Files channel. And now we're having him in Sub 2 because he is also a Sub 2 community member. So,
Yeah.
welcome, Todd.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a
Thank you for
pleasure.
coming on. Yeah. Thanks for coming on my show.
Well, thank you
So,
for having me again. It is a pleasure, and I love talking with you. So
yeah. That New Year's Day one, I think, was the last one we did. I was
yeah,
a little rough around the edges. I was like,
I think we all were. A little controversial too, but that's okay. Controversy sells also.
we were just like, we were talking about tattoos and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I talked with Jason Lambardi last night. We did that too. I was talking about his art that he has behind the wall. It's Paul Booth art, and then he's talking about his tattoos and about guitars because we're both guitar players. I got one right back over here. So
Okay, so you did that interview already?
yeah, I did that last night. I got to get it posted
Okay.
tonight. I'm gonna work on posting it tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check that out. So, what is the name of your channel, your YouTube channel?
It's my name, Todd Kirchhoff, and then the podcast is called For Action Takers Only.
Yes, I knew what the podcast is for action takers only.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
when
then
I was on there, I did the thumbnail for us. You can tell because it's
yeah,
like my style.
right. I like your style. It's busy.
Thank you. I know somebody's got to pull me away from Canva. Like I have an addiction.
You make them busy. You gotta get them on a focal point.
Yeah, I know. I like every time I go on there, I'm like, all right, this time I'm just gonna make it simple with a little catchy phrase, and it never turns out that way. I just can't stop myself.
Right. But have you started using AI to generate titles or do any of that stuff?
No, because AI is not me.
Well, that's okay. It kind of is. It gives some snappy titles, but it gives me ideas for titles because that's what I'll come up with generic, simple stuff, and the AI helps me come up with something I think a little catchier.
You know what I have used AI for though?
What's that?
I watched like I went on YouTube University, our favorite university in the US.
Mhm.
And I followed this video that showed you how to make like a bunch of shorts or whatever. Um and I made like these I made up a whole nother channel for it. They were like rhymes or puzzles that you had to guess, kind of quizzes or something like that, just to see how it worked.
Huh.
Turned out pretty good.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, what do we got
Yeah.
going on this evening? This is a sub two. This is your sub two.
This is my Subto Shanna. This is the way channel.
Okay.
So, we're just going to talk about, um, let's start with when did you join Sub 2 and what led you to Sub 2? What made you want to join?
All right. You want to hear the story of me joining sub two? Okay. Sub two.
Yes, love
All right.
stories.
I can't say exactly when I put or came across Pace Morby, but there was Sam Faster Freedom. There was another one, a guy something family, the Go Getter family. I saw some other things talking about Sam Faster Freedom isn't sub two, but he's all about buying properties, Burr strategy. And he seemed a little interesting, but I don't have money to invest. So when I came across Pace, he was doing you can invest in real estate with no money down, and here's how. And he was actually giving you ideas, and this is and talking about sub two and creative financing. So that became okay, this might be my way into real estate. That's when I started seeing these videos. But I
Mhm.
still had the thing is like, okay, there's all these real estate gurus on YouTube. Is this just another one out there full of shit? He's really, maybe he might be doing some real estate, but maybe he makes most of his money off of these courses he's selling and this community. So
Right,
I
because a lot of them do.
yeah, I hemmed and hawed about it for a while. I watched and watched. Would just watch his free stuff on YouTube, see it on Facebook, watch the videos, and it sounded good. And there was like I said, there was another one, the Go Getter family. I was watching his too, but I knew this guy is not doing it. He is teaching. He is out there doing seminars, but he is not doing deals. I could tell. So I wondered about Pace. He did seem a little more sincere, but then I ran across a friend of mine named Michael Hayes. He's also on my Facebook as one of my friends, and I saw a post from him. He had just completed building out another Airbnb, and he had thanked the Subto community for all the help. And I was like, son of a bitch, he's in Subto. So I called him up. I mean, I called him up pretty quick or sent him a message, and I don't know if he responded. I got a hold of him. I was like, hey, man, I just saw this post. You're in Subto. I did not know that. I've been watching Pace maybe 6 months to a year and thought it was BS. So can you tell me about this program and how and your experience in it? And he told me, and he's doing very well with it. So I was like, okay, if I know somebody doing it, that makes it a whole lot easier for me to buy into it. So yeah, I called them, set up the appointment, had the interviews, and got started.
And how and when was it that you joined?
That was back in mid end May of 2023. So
Okay. So you were
coming up
like,
on a year.
I joined April,
Okay,
mid
so right.
mid to late April.
Yeah, so coming up on a year, but and when I first started, I was lost. Luckily, it had the
Yeah.
method, and I just dove right into the Morby method and doing those courses. So it was
Mhm.
structure like that is good for me. I like structure. So jumped into that and then got through with those and then was kind of lost again. Now where do I go? I found a group here in Houston called Houston Power Hour. A bunch of guys, Jeff Smith,
Mm.
Subto Drew, Subto Lou, and some other guys. They're running the Power Hour, so I came across them, and that helped a lot. There started getting me going, making phone calls. Okay, I'm going to start going there and making phone calls. And then my buddy Mike ended up opening up. He was like, "Here, I can provide you with some lists for you to call." Uh, Foreclosures or whatever you want if you want to try and call them. So I started doing it, and I started doing it with just the phone and dialing fingers, and it was really slow, and it's just like, wow, this is not this is not fun, and this is going to take forever. And
Yeah.
then I found out about dialers, and then he brought me in on his team with a dialer or CRM, and that changed things a whole lot. So now I'm doing warmer leads, getting better conversations, just working on conversations. It's taking time. I'm working on my skills. I'm in no rush to be, uh, you know, I'm not in a
Well,
rush.
once you learn the process, usually the next step is to like, hire a VA to do a lot of the cold calling for you so that you more so come in on like the warm leads and close them.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what he's got now. He's got some VAs and they do the cold calling and they're setting appointments. So I'm getting warmer leads. I have a couple. I actually had my first interest in sub two, so I'm kind of excited about that one. Who knows where it goes, but it's my first interest. The first one I've had actual someone go, yeah, I'm interested to hear more about that. That's something that might fit. So that's really cool. I got an appointment with Michael and him, I think Saturday. So excited on that one. Then I got another one that's been interested in creative finance, but his terms that he's throwing out there are kind of crazy. So it's like, yeah, I don't think he wants like $10,000 a month. That way you could pay it off in like 8 months. I said, yeah, that would be great, but we're still looking to make you the bank and do it over a period of time, not as quick as possible.
10,000 a month, like,
Yeah, well, he wants all right, his terms are he wants the mortgage paid off, which is like 140. He's like, pay off the mortgage, pay me 10,000 a month and give 5,000 to my ex-wife. And well, that's probably not going to be good terms. So I told him we'll set up an appointment, and I said I'm told him I'm new at pitching terms. That my partner is more seasoned at it. We'll get him on the line. He can direct you and kind of give you some ideas of what would be better, more reasonable terms and stuff like that. So he was open. We'll see where that one goes to.
Yeah, I feel like so you have like a full-time job, right?
Yes,
And I feel
yes.
like a lot of times if you have no experience in real estate whatsoever when you start this, and then you also have a full-time job and like a family and all that kind of stuff, it usually
Single
makes
dad.
it a lot tougher because there's a lot to learn.
There's a ton to learn, and that's the thing. When you get in, you first get in. The Morby method was good. It kept me structured. As soon as I got done with that and started looking in the vault, it's like, now what? Now
So I
what?
feel like this is why I invited you to the group that we just got started. And I had someone invite me. So I feel like, being really good at underwriting, knowing if it's a good deal, how to, underwrite it will help a lot and help you get a lot more traction a lot faster. You meaning anybody, not just you, you know.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be. Yeah, I'm hearing from different people. I need to learn to underwrite because right now I don't really know when I come across something, is this a deal or not? And I'm afraid that I'm going to waste people's time, like going to Michael, hey, I got this guy interested, but it's not really a deal. I don't want to bring that kind of stuff to my partner or to the
Yeah.
person that I'm on their team. So it's like I don't know. I'm struggling with knowing what a deal looks like. So yeah, underwriting and comping. I started
Mhm.
learning comping or started messing with it. I still feel I'm kind of up in the air out on my own on it. And I shoot some to Michael. Yeah, it looks okay, but I'm using Privy. I don't really have MLS information. I'm just using Privy and Zillow. So
Mhm.
Privy, I'm
Yeah,
no
the underwriting is I mean, it's one thing to comp properties, it's another thing to completely underwrite a deal and
right.
know how it's gonna cash flow, all the information that you need to give, a potential buyer or whatever.
See
And
that.
one of my new best buds, shout out to Wesley Pipes. Hi, Wesley. He invited me to, this group that was getting together to start to go through that underwriting course that we
Mhm.
have. And, so that's when I was like, "Oh, Todd could use this too. Let
Oh,
me see if I can invite Todd."
hell yeah! And I was gonna start doing some of the pay stuff on in the vault for the underwriting. I was doing I'm torn between underwriting and raising capital. I started doing the raising capital Zooms in the vault to start learning raising capital. I'm seeing that that's
Mhm.
going to be still a lot of networking. It's probably take me more time because I'm a nobody in this industry and in this town. Nobody really knows who I am. So
Well, that you got sub too though, so
yeah, but I'm
all
still a
you need
nobody in
is that hat on your head, bro.
Yeah, but I'm still not too many people know. I mean, I'm getting my name out there a little more, pushing out with the
Uh-huh.
Jason Lombardi and Abraham Gray and everything. But it's like,
Yeah,
still
they say get your buyers first and
yeah, and that's what I got to do.
then
I got to
yeah.
really establish a good buyers list. So when I do
So
come
what are your
across,
markets?
I'm focusing just on Houston right now. I'm not really trying to go. I mean, whatever Michael gives me, most of it's around Texas. So
Mhm.
if I'm looking to buy, I'm only going to be looking to buy around Houston, maybe Conroe, Katy, Brookshire, Conroe because of Lake Conroe, maybe Galveston if there's something in
Mhm.
Galveston. But I think Galveston will be too high priced for me right now. So, and I don't know, and I'm worried about flood and hurricane stuff. So I think the insurance down there would be too much of a pain in the ass.
Is Houston like on the water or just near it?
No, it's just near it. We're maybe 50 miles away, not even, to Galveston. So from
Mhm.
here, from where I'm at, with no traffic, it takes us about hour and a half to get to Galveston. So Galveston
Okay.
Island. So, but when we get hurricanes, yeah, we're slammed. Houston is usually slammed. We're on the bayou, so
Mhm.
it's all floodplains. It's
Believe it
wonderful.
or not, Baltimore, Maryland can get some hurricanes here too. Because we got that big Chesapeake Bay running right up the middle of it, and I live
Yeah,
right there.
Well, I believe it. If you
There's
get
water
enough,
all around me.
see, we'll have times where it won't rain, so the ground will be, so dry that if it rains a lot, it just doesn't soak up quick. That causes flash floods. And then when it's oversaturated, it just won't take up the water. So then we'll have regular floods. Yeah.
Mm. Wow.
Well, usually it's we don't have it too bad. It's when the hurricanes come. So every hurricane season, it's everybody gets prepared. What's going to hit us this year? So far it's been okay the last couple years. So we'll be due for one soon. And you're getting ready to move right in the area, so you'll get to
Yeah.
experience that.
I
It's not
haven't really made
Shreveport.
it public yet.
Yeah, Shreveport and New Orleans. So you're going to be in flood area.
Yeah, there are some places around here that have a high water table too, so I'm kinda familiar. Um, I would used to tell my clients, if there was a high water table in the backyard, just plant a weeping willow. They suck up so much water.
Right.
Those are, like, one of my favorite trees. Those and palm trees are my favorites.
I hear that.
But the weeping willows, they suck up a lot of water. My When I was little, my grandmother had a weeping willow in her backyard, and I loved that tree. I mean, the branches hung all the way down onto the ground, and I would go in there, and it was like my little like clubhouse area. And then I went over there to play one day. My parents dropped me off, and I ran out into the backyard so I could go see my tree. Like, I literally love this tree. I felt like this tree was my best friend. It was
And it was
crazy.
gone.
And it was gone. I was like, I remember going back in the house and my grandma, I'm like, what did you do? And she's like, why are you so upset? I'm like, that was my tree. It was my tree. I was so upset. She said, I had to cut it. I had to have them come and remove it because the roots were getting all in the pipes in the house.
Huh. That's
So the
crazy.
roots will travel really far. That's how I learned that. The roots will travel really far. They need a lot of water, and if there isn't a water source nearby, they'll travel. So
Oh,
that's why
yeah.
you see them doing really well, like right near a lake or a river or something like that.
All right. So, sorry, I'm trying to see if it's recording on my channel at all,
Oh, okay. Yeah, you
but
should have
I don't see it.
permissions for
I don't
that.
see it live. I don't think I finished it, so I don't think it is. But that's
Well,
okay.
I can always send you the recording afterwards, and I'll send you my thumbnail. I try really hard, like, when I'm interviewing a gentleman versus a lady, I try to make them like my thumbnail is a little more masculine. It's
Masculine and macho. Yeah, no flowers and pink. No pink.
like I have an interview next week with Derek, and I had, like, some metal and silver stuff, it kinda looked
Oh yeah.
metallic. But, when I had Jael, she's a unicorn agent, so I got, like, sparkles everywhere, and I tried not to, do it up too much, but I just can't help myself.
Huh.
So,
All right. So hey,
um,
did you email or send a message to RJ Bates or look him up like I asked you? I was going to show you who he is.
I don't think so. I probably forgot, ADHD is a
Well,
biatch.
I'm gonna get you. Here's what he looks like. I'm gonna show you on the camera here real quick. So
Oh
RJ,
god, I can't see that.
not gonna
It's all
focus.
blurry.
Ah,
Just text me, screenshot it and text me.
yeah, I'll do it.
So
RJ Bates.
um let's get back on track here real quick.
Okay,
Okay. How do you feel about the future of Sub 2 and your role in its process?
that's a good question. I don't know. I know they're coming out with semesters, and he's making changes. So I don't get to spend a whole lot of time in daily dials because of my job. I get to watch them in the morning on the way to work and a little bit at work. And the ones that are during the day, I'm at work, so it's really difficult to get in them. And then when I get off of work, I'm
Yeah.
usually right to making calls and taking action. So I need to, I'm worried about the future with semesters and what all that concerns. So I've signed up. I'm gonna have to
So do you
watch.
know, did you get to were you, kinda I know you take care of your mom and you're a single parent and you have a full-time job, so I totally understand. I know you got a lot going on over there and it's kinda difficult, but do you understand the whole semester thing?
Not really. I need to. I
Okay.
guess I should go watch what he explained. I just signed up, and
Well,
I
I
need to.
can tell you if you like.
What's the
You're on
semesters?
this
I
podcast.
figured it's gonna be like school, like college semesters. He'll do a class for so long.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, when you're a realtor, you can get like certifications, like an accredited buyer's agent and stuff like that. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like that. And of course, you probably already know that Pace was an Eagle Scout, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So he's always adding new things. And I don't know if he's had this idea for a while or if he just came up with it or what, but people were like, we had s- there's when you have like around 13,000 people in a community, it's never going to be problem free. It's not even going to be problem free if you have 500 people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, in lieu of some things that have happened and stuff, he knew that he had to. Some people were, and if you screw somebody over in sub two, you are kicked out
Mhm.
even though it is for life, because he doesn't allow negativity and he doesn't allow anybody to, cause problems for each other.
Right.
So in lieu of that, he said, I think we need to teach everybody how to make sure that you have paperwork to secure everything, make sure that you're safe with your interactions with other people in the community and outside of the community, right? So that's pretty much the precipice for the safety course. So he, not only that, but also like how to do different things like wraps. So we have 3 courses that we're starting with right now. Wraps 101, there'll probably be a wraps 102, maybe a 103 at some point, kind of like college semesters. And then he started a safety course, and I think that he even may have other people who work with sub 2 students can take that one specific class, because he wants to make sure that everybody's doing things properly. Um and what's the other one we're doing right now? Low equity.
Yeah.
So basically, if you take one of these semesters and you do all the modules, there's a live Zoom class, and then there's homework, and then there's a very short, like 3-question quiz after each module.
Hmm.
And I think it looks like, I don't know if they're all going to be like this, but there's like 12 modules for a course. And then
Okay.
once you complete it all, I don't know if there's a final exam or not, but once you complete it all, you'll get what's called a badge, which is pretty much your certification.
Okay.
So, once these courses have been underway for a while, you'll be able to, if you want to work with someone who really knows how to do raps, for example, you'll be able to go on their profile or whatever, and they're like, oh, they have the badges. That means they're certified. They've taken class 101, 102, and 103, those courses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
So,
makes sense. So yeah, so I wondered, like when I first got in, it was difficult. Oh, how are you supposed to do this? Where am I supposed to find paperwork? I started trying to do or get involved with some JV deals, and
mhm.
it's like, well, what do you do? Just do them word of mouth? That doesn't sound like a very good idea. And then, yeah, I had to find the first one I got into is everybody was like, well, we need a JV contract. So I was the one out there having to go find a JV contract and get it right. And that
Yeah.
was fun. So
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta remember this, this community, it'll only be 4 years old in April.
There's a lot of new
So,
people here. Yeah.
yeah, and it has doubled in size, more than doubled in size since I joined. When I joined last April, it was like 6,000 something.
Yeah, I think when I joined, there was about 9,000.
It's like growing so fast.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Amazing. He's got something going on. He hit a nerve. He definitely hit a nerve, and definitely the community is where it's at. This
I'm convinced this is his life purpose.
Yeah, he's figured it out, I think. He's
Mhm.
very intuitive, just like Jason was saying last night. He's very intuitive, and yeah, I can't wait. Ooh, I got to I texted him a message because I'm trying to get him on a podcast. I told him when I started this pace,
Pace, you
yeah,
mean?
I told him when I
Mhm.
started this that in a year I want to do an interview with him. So last night after the Lombardi interview, I sent him a text and said, "Hey, I just had another great conversation with Jason Lombardi. Are you still gonna, I'm gonna hold you to this, or are you still gonna do the interview in a year's time?" And he said, yeah, send my team an email. So tomorrow I'm gonna put together an email. I want to do it sometime in September.
Mhm.
September will be a year that I've had the podcast going. So
Oh, wow. You started way before me. My channel's like 4 months old.
4 months. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
started right after Project Forward. They said do this stuff. I kind of dove right into it because it was like if I don't get it done, I'm not going to
Well,
do it
I
because I
did
didn't want to do it.
too, but I don't think it was a year. We haven't even been in sub 2 for a year.
No, I'll have been sub two. Well, almost. You're coming up
Oh,
on it real quick.
hold on. Hold on.
In
Okay.
April, you'll have April will be a
2
year.
more
May will be a
okay.
year for me. Yeah.
So, May will be a year.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
You'll
you
have
didn't
1
start
year
this.
in May.
Look, when you go look on your channel, I bet you it's like 4 or 5 months tops.
Yeah. No, it's September, I remember.
No, no, you're, not when you joined, how old your channel is.
Oh, I know, my YouTube
If
channel,
you
I started it back in, September. So if you go to my first video,
Oh, you started it right when you joined?
not when I joined, no, because I joined Sub 2 in May, and then we did Project
Oh,
Forward
okay,
was,
I
like,
got you.
July. I think Project Forward started in July,
Was it?
and then, I think we had 3 meetings. It might have been the end of July, August, but then we had
Mhm.
3 meetings, and then I did my first, interview.
Do you think Project Forward dropped off the map?
I think
Or do
it's
you
kinda
think
gotten
it's gonna get picked up again at some point? He's got
that's
so much going on, I don't even know how he does it all.
I don't
Like,
either.
there's a handful of us, like you and I, and, there's, like, a handful of us who just kept on running with it, and
Mhm.
then there's other people who just stopped because we haven't really had any more Zooms on it, you know?
Right. Exactly.
Like,
No, I think it's
I know a lot of people that have maybe 1 or 2 videos and they just haven't done anything else, but
right. Well, he got through what he did the part of the email marketing. We were supposed to do another one that never happened, and he was saying there's gonna be like 12 classes or so. He was gonna do 12 classes, teach us
Mhm.
some, ways to do some affiliate marketing and stuff like that, but yeah.
Yeah. He had the baby coming while his wife was getting ready to give birth to their son, and then,
Right.
he was doing all these meetups because he knew he was gonna be home for a little while,
I
and
think he cut him yeah, I think he just,
the holidays and everything else.
piled it on, and then he had to rethink things and prioritize, so that's
Yeah.
alright.
And he was doing the 0 down too.
Yeah, Zero Down started, and yeah, so,
Dude, have you been in your Kajabi lately?
this morning, why? What's going on?
Because they've just recently added a 0 down module, just like the semester modules. They
Mhm.
added 0 down now. Everybody can access 0 down now.
Everybody can, all that's crap.
Mhm.
I had to do the homework. So, no, I see buying business creative, so everybody gets 0 down now.
Mhm.
Oh,
They
wow.
just added it. Yeah.
So, well, I
So I
guess there
guess that's completed. He was doing several things at the same time. Plus he was getting ready to be a dad again, you know.
right.
So he might have more time here, but we got what Squad Up Summit coming. We got the semesters are kind of he's got people running those.
So you're going to squat up. I'm jealous. I'm envious.
Yes.
I'm envious. You're going
Well,
to squat up.
I'm going because of Wesley. Wesley got my ticket for me.
Badass.
I
Well, it's
got
got
I got a little tab running with him.
you better do a lot of content. Do a lot
Yes.
of content while you're there. Make a lot of
Yes, I am.
and then
Like,
you
I'll
gotta be
be
scheduling these, like, you're gonna be hitting some big names, so you better start
I'm
right
gonna
away. "Hey,
there's gonna
hey,
be
I need your
videos.
email. I need to schedule you on my podcast," and
Yes, there's gonna be videos. And
yeah, if
maybe
I
I'll
was
do
there
maybe we can do like a podcast interview while I'm there.
yeah, bring me on, and I can talk to him and say, "Hey, I wanna get you on my podcast too."
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
have to
mean,
yeah, you're gonna have to, get on a live or something. We'll do a live while you're there and,
I'm
definitely.
excited to
I
see Mel Robbins
yeah?
too. She's my spirit animal. Look, I look like her. Look. The blonde hair and the glasses.
Yeah,
I love her.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. So, you when is that? When exactly is the squat up again? It's
I
April
think
something.
it's April 21st through the 23rd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still a possibility if I can get there, who knows? It's still far enough away that things could change and
Mhm.
I can do it. You never know. I got a
Yeah.
wedding I have to attend in April 12th, friend's weddings or a friend's daughter's wedding, so
Mm,
that'll
okay.
be interesting.
So, how far away from Shreveport are you? Like, roughly?
Let me look.
Google map it. Yeah, see
Yeah, that's what
how
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see. It shouldn't be too far, like, Beaumont's only, like, 2 to 3 hours. I mean, it's not even it's about 2-hour drive. It's 223 miles. So it'd say about a 4.5 hour drive.
Holy moly. Wow.
That's not too bad because oh, you're up
Or maybe
from
we could just, like, meet halfway. I'll drive 2 hours, you drive 2 hours one day, and then just, do lunch
go
or
to
something.
Nacogdoches or Lufkin, that would be the halfway point.
Yeah.
But, no, I've never been to Shreveport, maybe I wanna come up there and check it out,
Neither have I yet.
right? No,
Let
but
me tell you, I got some guts, don't I?
you're not too far from Longview or Texarkana, so you'll
What's
be around.
Texarkana?
Texarkana is right up there by Texas and Arkansas, right in the corner of
Oh, okay, so that's kinda like what we call around here Delmarva.
yeah, probably.
You call it Texarkana?
Yeah, Texarkana.
Cute,
Right there on
cute.
the border of Texas and Arkansas, Texarkana.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, let's see what else. Do you have any advice for someone just starting out in the Subto community?
Yeah, I do. Avoid shiny object syndrome, find one thing to focus on. That's my advice because that's been my struggle, okay, 'cause
And join a team.
yeah, it's been oh, there's so much stuff in Sub 2. It's and they tell you, and you're like, "Oh, I won't get overwhelmed. No, I'll be able to handle it."
Oh my gosh.
Not
Yeah, you don't even know till you oh man, I'm telling you.
there's a lot. There's so much. I mean, I've gone from okay, well, I get in there, I'm gonna start doing direct to agent, I'm gonna do direct to seller, I'm gonna do this. I want to be a visionary. I'm not a visionary like I've learned I'm not a visionary like Pace. I'm not that intuitive.
Did you take the test?
I haven't taken the test yet. I wanted to do that, but I got to do that. Um, Focus. Advice to give to others is find one thing to focus on for at least the first 90 days. One thing. If you're going to do direct to seller, make the calls, just do that. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about another thing. Do that. Just focus.
I
And
say join a team.
I would say
That's what
join.
they tell realtors when you first start out because, what they say is true. They don't teach you in real estate school how to be a realtor. They just they
Well,
just teach you stuff like townships and, you know, I mean,
right. That's why I asked like people going to the realtor school, what are they teaching you? Do you learn to comp? Do you learn to underwrite? Do you learn this? And so if they don't teach that, what's the point of going to that school and trying to get my license? They don't
you
teach the actual
because that's
skills I need.
they just teach you what you needed to know in the 1800s to sell real estate is basically it's why it only takes 2 weeks. What
Right. So
And then when you get out, you're just like, okay, which way do I go now?
yeah, and they
But
want a bunch of money for it and want you to jump through hoops for it. It's like, nah, I'll just do it.
do you join a team, and then the team will train you and show you and teach you
Somewhat.
everything.
You gotta be careful now. That's the other one. Yeah, join a team. I would give the advice to join a team, but also, vet your team. What are they gonna be doing for you? Are they gonna be training you? Are they gonna be giving you a lot of advice, doing call calibrations, giving you advice on your calls, stuff like
Mhm,
that? Because still I got on a team, but I still feel I'm a lot of the time I'm still feel I'm kind of out here by myself. I know they're busy. I don't want to ask a lot of questions. I want to try and get the stuff right. But then there's a lot of stuff. It's like, I don't know. And a lot of stuff I just haven't gotten comfortable with. Creative
mhm.
pitching terms on creative. I find I'm really lost. I don't know where to negotiate on that at all as to start. I can pitch subject to a little bit. I think that's pretty basic and it's not too in depth. I mean, it's pretty, hey, we're just going to take over payments and this is how we'll do it. If you tell them how to do it, and it's, I don't know, getting back into the little fine things, I'm not too good at. I'd have to. So that's why I'm looking forward at these calls with Michael. I'm going to go over one with creative finance and one with sub two, because I haven't even been on and besides listening to Pace's calls, but he makes it sound so easy. Like,
Yeah, because he's been doing it for so long.
yeah, it's
And
like,
you know what else? Like, I know that you got your hands full with your mom and, being a parent and a W-2 full-time and all that stuff. But, like, we've been finding, especially here lately, that, on Monday nights, the wholesale hotline, oh, they have been so good
oh, yeah.
lately. Yeah, the wholesale hotline right on YouTube. Anybody can watch that. Um, and then Pace's, Sunday night Get Creative podcast has had really good stuff on there. So, not even a year ago, what, 9, 10 months ago, when I joined Subto, it was a Sunday service, and basically it was just like Zoom. It
Hmm.
was like, I mean, when I first found Pace, I was just watching Zoom meetings that he had with his students on YouTube.
Yeah.
But, oh my god, he's just scaled up so much since then.
He's got a lot going. I mean, there was a lot of Zooms
Mhm,
when I remember there was the whole schedule of Zooms going on. So it's just like trying to pick and choose. The good ones I like. I like Jason Lombardi. I always liked what they're doing on Monday morning. I like Jeff Smith on Fridays.
mhm.
And those are the two main ones I've caught in a lot of, where they do a lot of call calibration or
Yeah. Those are
real.
the Zooms, like, inside the community, though.
Right. Yeah, those are the ones where they're doing role playing. So those were I listened a lot, and I need to try and listen more to Pace's stuff. And then I like the guy RJ Bates I keep telling you about. I
Mhm.
really like his style. He's kind of a straightforward, right to the point, no bullshit. The only thing is I don't, I haven't listened to too many of his calls, but the empathy part I don't think is there as much. But he's doing very well. So I really I
Sure.
like his style in it and how he approaches people and gets people to talk. They seem to open up to him if you watch his YouTube stuff. So he does very well, and so I want to get him on here and hear his story and how he got started too, and pick his brain some.
Yeah. I definitely, and I wanna check out your one with Jason Lombardi last night.
Yeah, I got to
You're
post.
you're really good at this podcasting stuff like
Well, I
me.
I don't know. I don't. I just want to talk to them and pick their brains. So that's what I'm looking at it now. I'm gonna kind of.
You're natural, though. I mean, it's
I
like
don't know.
you don't put too much towards it's just, like, naturally happens. I mean, you're just really, really good at it.
You think
Uh,
so? So are you.
yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely.
You can tell you're having fun with it.
I would say you're better than me. I'm too
No,
focused on
come
the
on.
little artsy fartsy thumbnails.
No, but you can have you see that you're having fun with it. I don't know. I seem to struggle, and then I get in mind for it's like I was having a little problem with yesterday. It's like, okay, what am I going to ask Jason? I was nervous with Jason. I don't know why. That one I
Really?
got really nervous yesterday. I was like, man, maybe I
You've
should
had
change.
lots of high level
Oh,
guests.
and then the other thing that happened is like I thought he was living on or still living in Los Angeles. He's on his Facebook. It says he's from Los Angeles. So I thought he's on the West Coast. he's always doing the East Coast daily dials on Monday morning. So I was like, that was weird.
Mhm.
And then so I thought when I scheduled
He's
it
in
that he's on the
Florida,
West
right?
Coast, and then yeah, he's in Florida. Yes,
Mhm.
yeah, he's in Venice, Florida, but I'm thinking Venice Beach, California. Whenever he
Ah.
says Venice, I'm thinking, okay, he's on the West Coast, West Coast. So he
Why do
called
we
me,
have so many places with the same names in America?
right? Yeah, he called me yesterday and I was like, hey, are we still having it? I never saw the link. And I'm like, yeah, but what time is it where you're at? And he's like, it's like 5:30. I'm like, what? I said, where are you? He's like, I'm in Florida. I'm like, oh shit. I thought you were in freaking Venice, California. I had you scheduled at 5, Pacific time at 7 Central. So I was like, well, he was really cool about it. And he's one that doesn't like his time wasted. So he was very
Yeah.
cool and understanding. And I very much appreciate him. And he still did the interview. He's like, yeah, give me 20 minutes. I'll be ready. And I said, cool. That'll give me enough time to get everything set up. So I got it set up and we got it done. And he is just he's a cool guy. And I
How
really
did you,
think
if you can't get in the daily dials and stuff because you're working, how did you, make a connection with Jason?
I just sent them like anybody. I'm sending them messages. I don't, I'm not worried about who they are. I'm just, hey, I'm going to send out a message and ask you anyway. And like I had RJ Bates scheduled, I had him scheduled back in December on the night of the playoff, the NFL playoffs. And he was like, well, I'm watching football. We can do the interview right after the game's over. I said, all right, well, I'll schedule it for 7 and we'll leave it tentatively for after the games. But the games went on and were going on and on. And he sent the message and says, well, I don't want to be up. I got to be at the office in the morning and I don't want to be up too late. So I said, all right, well, let's go ahead and reschedule. I'll get a hold of you and reschedule. And he's been ghosting ever since. So that's why I want you to send him a message saying, hey, I would really like to see you on
Ah,
this
okay.
this
Yeah.
podcast. And if you ever need me to do that for somebody, hey, somebody you want to get on, I'll reach out to him and say, hey, I'd really like to see you on Shanna's Subto podcast.
You've
That would be awesome.
given me a great idea, though. I think I'm gonna pop into. I went to the Friends with Benefits. I'm sorry, I giggle every
What?
time I say that title, that Zoom
What
title.
kind of kinky stuff is that? No.
It's it's a networking. The networking one is
Is
like
this a
a sub
secret? Is
2
this like a
speed
secret
dating
sub
friends
two,
with benefits.
a secret sub two community?
No. No, it's a Zoom on Saturdays. You could probably do it.
No, I've heard of it. Yeah, I know. I've
With
heard
like
of
a
it.
networking thing. Oh my god, I saw that on the Zoom calendar and I just started busting out laughing like I knew it was a networking thing, and I was like, "That is the best Zoom name ever."
Right?
So, yeah, so I went in there and then, and Jesse Stanton was the host of it, and so then he came on my podcast.
Well, that's cool. How is
And,
he? See, I've seen some of his stuff, but I don't get to watch. It's like there's enough sub two stuff, so I'm not venturing out away from sub two
he has a
too much.
coaching program. He has a couple of podcasts that he does.
Yeah, network
Um
to net worth and all that,
He
and
has a YouTube channel, and he has a
yeah,
coaching program,
the
and he has
growth,
a team.
the growth code.
He lives
Yeah.
in Alaska, so he's 4 hours behind us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the guy who's starting our underwriting group also lives in Alaska. I'm
Who's
not
that?
sure if the whole entire state. Grady.
Okay. So he's in
I'm not.
Alaska. So
Yeah, he's in
wow.
Alaska too. They're like 4 hours behind us. So, I knew Alaska was big, but I am so sheltered.
It's about the size of
I've
Texas.
not been away from where I grew up very many times. So,
Oh, well, we
I
need to
was
get you out of there.
talking to Lola about how big Alaska is versus Texas, right?
Yeah.
And then when I looked at the map after our podcast interview, I was like, Jesus, Alaska's just about the size of half of the United States.
Right. And that's barely inhabited. Yeah.
I was
Not
like,
very inhabitable.
I
Habitable.
knew Texas was more populated, but
Yeah. I
wow,
want to
you
get into
just
the hill country of Texas. That's where I really want to get to. I wanted to get into the mountains of Colorado, but with all going on, if we secede, I'll stay in Texas.
here's what I know about Alaska. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
That's where Jason Momoa / Aquaman was from. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
You're
sorry.
right.
That's a sexy man right there.
You're
When I
good.
was watching the movie, I was watching the movie with my boyfriend at the time, and then he gets on that submarine, he flips his wet hair back, and he's like, "Permission to come aboard," and I was like, "Oh, permission granted." He's like, "Hey," I'm like, "What? I wouldn't get upset if you said something about a hot girl."
And he was all upset too. Oh my god!
I just
You bruised his ego,
he just melted all the women with that one little move.
right?
Uh,
That's funny. That's hilarious.
yeah. And then they have whales up there.
Hmm.
They have whales up in Alaska too.
Oh yeah. Well, you got all that stuff. You don't have whales on your side of in the water
Not
over
in
there.
the Chesapeake Bay.
They're not whales, but you got something over there.
I feel like there's more whales in the Pacific Ocean than the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, I'm just making an educated guess here. I'm not for sure about that. But the Atlantic Ocean is more warm because you got the jet stream coming down through that. The Pacific Ocean is cold.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Our
don't know.
water warms up in like April, May, and it doesn't get cold till like October.
I wonder how those big fish like the cold water. I don't know if they prefer it or what. Because yeah, you're right. It seems like there's more over there, but I don't know. I don't know about marine biology. I know nothing about that.
Yeah.
Don't really have a desire to either. So.
Mhm.
I just want to learn more about real estate investing, subject to and closing deals.
Yeah, we really did get off the beaten path there, like way off. We wandered into the woods, and we're not even talking anything about something.
All right, let's get back to sub two. Sub two. Focus. Focus.
Oh my god, that's entertainment right there alone.
All right. Well, this is what the podcasts are for: entertainment
Right.
and learning some, but more entertainment.
So, what are your interests and passions outside of Subto?
Mm.
You play the guitar,
Yes,
right?
I play guitar. That's what I did for many years. I was a musician up until I graduated high school in 1990, and I went to music school in California, Los Angeles, California. And I played in bands and played semi-professionally up until 99. I left my last
Guitar?
band. Yes, and then
And
just
did you
cover it.
have like the long hair, like the 80s
Oh
rock
yeah,
hair
oh yeah.
bands?
I'll have to show you. I'll have to send you a picture. I had long hair. I was I was a rocker. Yeah.
Woo, Gen Xer.
So yeah, in 99 I got out of or my last band broke up. Not my last band, but the one that I had, was we played for a living. We played pretty much 5 to 6 nights a week. And that one broke up, and I got my first real job outside of music, and that was for the phone company. I started as a network technician because I had a lot of computer stuff. When I wasn't playing music, I always messed around with computers and web pages and networking. So kind of had that little, and that kind of got me into the phone company. So yeah, I did
Mm.
that. And my passions, I guess, outside of it, I still like to play. I used to draw a lot. The Indian over here, I drew that one.
Let's see it. Bring it closer. Bring it a
Uh,
little closer. You got microphones in the there we go.
yeah, you can't see it. It's
What? You drew that?
yeah. I'd have to take a picture and show you, but it's ballpoint pen too. It's all ballpoint
Shut
pen.
the front door.
So yeah, drew
You got
that.
some skills, brother.
Yeah. So I like art. I did tattooing for a little while, but I wouldn't mind doing that again. But it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get into that. And then other passions, I like trading. I started stock market trading, but since Biden took office, that's gone to shit. The markets and
Yeah.
everything, and the markets have been weird, so it's hard to tell.
Mm.
And
I
I'm not
still want to hear you play guitar.
okay, someday. When you're down here, yeah, you're gonna be down here soon, so maybe I'll bring it with me. Or I'm not. I mean, I just
Yeah,
doodle,
I want
man,
you to play on a podcast one time, so practice a little bit.
on
I
a
know you
podcast. Play a song
yeah.
or something. Jeez, I haven't even made it through a song in a long time. I just pick it up and doodle with it now. Like when I'm bored,
Mhm.
when I'm really bored, I'll pick it up and mess around and doodle and try and write stuff or whatever. But
I bet you it's like riding a bike. I bet you once you pick it up and, you might be a little rusty at first, but then you start pedaling, you're gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, here it is. It's all
oh,
coming back to me."
I'm okay, but I started playing, I think it was last summer. an old drummer from high school. He was wanting to do something,
Mm.
so I started playing again, and we jammed once or twice, and it just didn't click. So, but I started learning, like, we decided like 4 songs, so I started going through. I used to know I played in cover bands, so we would play clubs
Mhm.
and be playing 4 sets, 3 to 4 sets a night, of songs, 10 to 12
So what
songs.
kind of music did you play, like
And we would play anything.
Journey or, like,
Yeah, we'd
more
play from 60s to the
Def
80s,
Leppard?
90s rock, top 40, country. We had country songs in there. We
Mm.
had a wide range. The band I was called the Limos. We were the 3rd, we were rated the 3rd band in Houston, top 3rd band in Houston. So we played. We played all the time. We got to go to Japan twice. We got to travel around, go to some other states and do some things. And after I left the band, I moved to Japan for the company that sent us over there. And then the band went on, or actually, the members of the band got in another band, and they went in to do this show up in New York. I think it was a Battle of the Bands, and it was a cover band battle thing on TV.
Oh, I
And the
remember
members of my band,
that.
the members that I jammed with, they joined forces with another local cover band, and they went up there and got involved in that and did pretty well in that. So, and then one of the guys that I played with in the Limos, he was a singer bass player. His name is Eric Rodrig. I think he's gotten an Emmy nomination or 2 for a couple jingles he wrote
Mm.
for commercials. So he's actually, he's made some strides in music, and it's done very well.
I bet if you woulda stayed with it, you would've too.
Probably. That's the thing. It's staying with it and consistency, and you never know. I might have quit, and then could have been a month later. We could have been in something that got signed, but I don't.
You know what always you know what al not I don't wanna say ruin because it's not a bad thing, but the number one cause of guys leaving the band that they're playing in?
What?
They meet a
Egos.
girl. They meet a girl, and then
Some.
they
And
go and start a family.
well, here's why the Limos broke up. We were doing well, and we started writing tunes too that were getting noticed by local radio stations. But why the Limos broke up was, the bass player Eric Rodrig had gotten involved with a woman, and she was, they were planning on getting married, and he was moving back to his hometown and going to get a regular job and do the regular thing, be a family man.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
didn't see him. He said he didn't
That was
see
the
himself.
whole thing with Weezer.
Yeah.
They were Harvard was it Harvard? Yeah,
Yeah.
Harvard
Grad
students, and they
Yeah.
just did the band for fun, and they just got so popular because everybody loved their stuff. I loved their stuff.
I
It was
did
like
too.
my oldest daughter's band, and
I don't
then
know.
they just
I look back on it, I think it was everything worked out how it should. You see the
yeah,
entertainment industry how it is today. I wouldn't want to be a part of it. I have
yeah.
no
It
desire
it
to
just
be
wasn't
rich.
what they wanted to do.
Yeah,
They
I have no
came back and did another album because they were demanded and everybody wanted them so much, but
yeah.
it's not what they
If you could
wanted to
do it
do.
like that, but I really I see it today, and it's just like I wouldn't want to be a part of that. No, I'm cool where I'm
Mhm.
at. I wouldn't want all the paparazzi and not having to be able to have a private life. So I'm glad.
The best time to be in that industry, I feel like, was our generation,
Could have
right?
been. Yeah. But I lived in Hollywood, so I saw all the paparazzi out there all the time, always, running around, chasing everybody down, and it's just
Right,
like
you lived all over the place, right?
I've
You
lived a
lived
couple.
in Hollywood.
Hollywood. I lived in Hollywood, Connecticut, Japan, uh, and here in Chicago. So,
Wow.
you know,
I bet
and
you could tell some stories.
I got a few stories. I got some
Stories.
drunken stories
Yeah. We'll
from my
have to
younger rock star days.
Oh, yeah. So, again, we got you and I can just, like, talk forever.
We
We
do
seriously
talk well.
can. We do. We can just, like, sit here and talk forever and just about anything and nothing all at the same time.
Right, but I didn't answer all the questions, so you didn't have a lot to talk or ask me about the sub 2 journey, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, I kinda did. As a matter of fact, we touched on I'm really good at being smooth with it. I mean, we talked about visionary integrator thing. I asked you if you did the test, about your interests and passions outside of Sub 2. You had some advice for someone joining it. How do you feel about the future? When did you join it and why? So see, now that I pointed out all those questions, see how smooth you can just
Smooth. You just got to make it regular.
without even realizing it, you're touching on a bunch of subjects. That's a good podcaster right there.
That is, and I got to pay attention to that because I don't always necessarily think about subjects I want to touch on. I just want to have a good conversation, keep it flowing,
Yes.
and stuff like that. So I stopped
That's what
doing.
people that are coming on my channel, they're like, "I'm so nervous." I'm like, "About what?" "Honey, listen, just follow my lead. I got you, okay? I can talk forever to anybody about everything."
Right. So, and I know I'm not coming on here trying to be a guru or anything. I'll tell you straight how it is.
Right.
I haven't done any deals yet. I'm still learning. I'm still getting this. There's some people that can come in here and do it and get a deal within the first 30, 60 days, even the first week. I've seen people get
Mhm.
deals first week, but it doesn't
Some
happen
of
like
them were
that.
already kinda doing stuff like that before they came in.
Some of them had
If you don't have a system or process and you don't really know what you're doing or you're missing a component here or there, um,
right.
then, it's like, I mean, some people come in here and they've already been wholesaling, or some people come in here with some past experience. And, I mean, that's how come was able to do, you know,
Well, yeah, don't you
it
have
was
your
a
realtor's
few.
license?
I'm sorry, what?
Don't you have your realtor's license or something?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, so see, you already have some
It
experience.
is so different though. I mean, it's and then too, it's not just like learning something new, it's retraining your brain, because there's a whole stigma behind some of the stuff that we do, which why I don't know. But I didn't really know anything about creative finance. I didn't know anything about I mean, we know about seller finance, but,
Mhm.
subject to and all that stuff was brand new.
Yeah, I still can't believe how
Private
many
money lenders, all that stuff.
I still just can't believe how many don't use it as a solution. I talked to a realtor the other day, and no, they wouldn't be open to that. Well, why not? Oh, that just seems
Mhm.
shady. Well, maybe you
Well,
should.
what do they say? A
That
confused
just
mind always says no.
right. That's true.
And
Yeah.
see, as agents, we've gotta be confident, and we have their trust. So there's like, that pressure of, we need to know what we're talking about. It's our job to be able to come to them and explain to them and say, "Hey, this is what this is about, and is this good for you or not, yay or nay?" You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
have to really know what we're talking about, and if we don't know anything about that, so look, I called somebody last week, an agent. Direct to agent is my favorite, right?
Okay.
Because I can relate to them.
You can talk
And
to 'em.
I called an agent, what was it, last week or the week before? No, it was the week before. And then I followed up with him again last week, and because I started, I was like texting him and stuff every day, and he said, "Hey, I'm at this real estate convention. Can I'll reach out to you when I get back." So when he got back, he reached out to me and he's like, "Shauna, Shauna, Shauna," and I'm like, "Yes. How are you? How was the convention? Was it like a Tom Ferry thing? They're like really cool. I've been to this before." He's like, "No, but there was a guest speaker." And guess who it was? I said, "Tom Ferry?" He said, "No, Pace Morby."
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I said, "What?" So Pace Morby is helping to educate these agents and everything about, it's really good for these agents to learn about this creative finance and stuff like that, because um it's like, not only can it solve problems that they may not be able to solve with their clients, like when the market's not doing well and the home's sitting on the market, creative finance could be a solution.
Right.
Not only can they help their clients with it, but more so, they need to be working with us.
Right. Well,
So
here's
you can do several
hey,
deals a week you help a client maybe once every 7 to 10 years.
All right, we got to figure out a way to help Pace educate more realtors
Oh, he's on it.
across.
I
Yeah,
was
he's
just
on it, but he's doing it more there in Arizona. But we got to get him across the country. Yeah, get him over here. Maybe start figuring out how he's teaching them, and then start some classes with local realtors in your area.
yeah,
Subto
yeah.
classes.
I
We got to
had
figure out how to
that
do.
idea. I had that idea.
Because I know over here, I know even friends. I have friends that are realtors, and they're just when I mention the subject to in creative, they're just like, "Dude, no, that's like illegal. We're not gonna go that route." And I was like, "Dude, it's not illegal. Look in the IRS. On the IRS.gov
Mhm.
website, it's on there. It's
It's
not."
even in most of the contracts. Now, contracts can differ a little bit from state to state.
Mhm.
And that's another thing too. Don't I'm moving out of state, so
You got to learn a whole new set of rules.
yeah, if I want to see, there's two parts to being a realtor. There's the national part, and then there's the state specific part. The state is where you actually get your license from.
Okay.
So, moving to Louisiana, if I wanted to get my license there, I
Mhm.
would just have to do the Louisiana state part of it.
Take
Does
a
that make
test.
sense? Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
'cause I got the national
So
part.
you would just have to go there and test to get your realtor's license there.
Yeah, I might have I think I would have to do a little bit of schooling as well because, laws differ from state to state.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're gonna have to learn the laws, definitely.
Mhm. So I haven't decided if I wanna do that yet. I'm just kinda leaving that on the back burner for now. I'm gonna feel things out.
So when
Um,
exactly are you gonna be down here? Mid-March?
March.
Mid-March? Do you have a
Yeah.
date? Do you have a specific date yet, or are you just kinda winging it?
Uh, it's floating. It's floating. I'm winging it. I'm shooting for, like, 1st, 2nd week of March-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I need to give myself a little cushion just in case. It's a lot to move. I'm rehoming 3
Oh, you're doing that?
animals,
Yeah.
taking 1 with me, still trying to decide if I wanna sell my car here because I have to drive a U-Haul, So I'm like, "What am I
Mhm.
gonna sell my car? Am I gonna" you know?
No, get somebody to
So I'm
drive it.
thinking about maybe selling my car and then getting another one down there because my car's older.
Is it
I love it. I love
kinda
it.
car?
It's a Sebring convertible,
Mm, okay.
and I mean, so my last boyfriend of 5.5 years was a mechanic, so that baby hums.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you step on the gas, I'm just cruising along, right? And people are like trying to I'm like, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get out your way for you." Wah! And that thing just takes off. I'm like, "Woo!" And I love putting the top down on a sunny day and
Oh,
cranking up
yeah.
the tunes and driving down some country roads. Oh gosh.
Oh, I'd like a
I'm
convertible.
totally
I
gonna miss
always
that
liked
car.
riding bikes, so I'd like convertibles.
Mhm. Yeah, so I attended a a motorcycle club funeral procession. It was so long,
Mhm.
so long. And, they're like, "Do you wanna ride on one of our bikes with us?" And I'm like, I'd rather just, like, put the top down on my car." And finally got, "Oh, okay, you're riding in a cage?" I said, "No, I'm gonna ride in my car." They're like, "Oh, yeah, you're
That's
gonna ride
the
in the cage."
cage.
I'm like, "I'm not
Cars
riding in a cage, I'm riding in my car."
well, bikers consider cars cages. Doesn't mean
Let me
doesn't
tell you
matter.
what, I could be a little speed demon when I want to, and it was very difficult to keep up with them. I was
Oh, yeah.
like,
Yeah, yeah, that's a different breed. Definitely a different breed, so.
oh, people were so mad because there were so many bikes on this thing. He was a
Mhm.
president, so there were
Oh,
people
yeah, so
coming
there
from
was a lot.
all over. Yeah, so it was a major deal. It's hard for me to keep up. That
Yeah.
that that's a red flag right there. I can keep up with
Yeah.
anybody.
Oh, I don't
But
know, I'm a speed demon, but, yeah, on the bike, it's different, yeah. They ride different. So.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, let's wrap this up.
Call it an
And
evening. Oh, it's
huh?
over an hour. We've been going over an hour already.
Yeah, I know. It flies by because, it's we got a good chemistry here and we can just talk and before we know it.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, we've been talking for a while. I
Yeah.
don't do that with
But
many
it doesn't
people.
feel like it. It feels like 15 minutes, doesn't it?
But you should feel privileged because I don't do that with many people. A lot of times
Oh, really?
it's a struggle to
Well,
try and
color
keep a
me privileged.
conversation. Yeah, you are privileged, but yeah, it's no, because I was a hermit for many years, so I just worked and I didn't talk to people, because, if they were negative,
Going
no, I
through
didn't talk.
something, but you're not a shy guy or you wouldn't have been able to get on stage and play guitar in front of
No,
people.
I'm not, but, that was a weird thing too. That was always I loved guitar, I loved playing every show. Every show I have this tremendous stage fright, and before every show, I was always contemplating quitting and walking away. Yes,
Really?
and then I'd get on and it would be great and I'd have a great time, but before the show, I'm like, "Nah, screw this. I don't wanna do this anymore. I'm gonna quit. Nah."
Oh,
I
man.
just get this
I
tremendous stage
don't
fright. I don't know why, but then I would
I don't
just
really understand what that's like. I I don't know. I mean, I know everybody has, like, stage fright, but, like, if I when I get on a stage for whatever reason, I'm just like, "Ah,
No, I get nervous. I hide it very well. Nobody could ever tell. They always
ridiculous."
thought I seem like a natural up there somewhat, but no, I even like the first 2 or 3 songs, it would be like I would be, "Wow, we're already through the first 2." I don't even remember playing them, because 'cause I'd be just so
Wow.
worked up before the show, so worked up, like, "Man, I'm stressing out. I'm nervous. I don't wanna do this. I don't wanna," and it
Aw.
never that was the weird thing. It never got any better, but I still did it, and we played a lot. When I was playing in a cover band, we played 5 nights a week. I think there was only a few times I didn't get nervous because there was a couple clubs we did new clubs and there was nobody there. So this is like a practice. It was just like a practice session. But when there was people, a lot of times the clubs were full, a lot of people, I'd get really nervous, like, oh man, I'm gonna go in there and screw this up. But everything always worked out just fine. So
Yeah.
it was weird. It's the weirdest
Yeah.
thing, and I do that now with these podcasts. I find myself getting like yesterday with Jason, I got nervous and I was like, "Man, I hope he calls and cancels."
Oh,
And then when he
man.
called, I was like, "Oh, no, he's calling and canceling," and I was like, "Oh, okay," but then I realized, "Ooh, I screwed up time. I should have, confirmed where he lived and had his time zone down." I almost
Maybe
asked him.
it's how you're looking at it. Maybe that's the difference for
Yeah,
me.
I stressed myself out
'Cause
about it. It's weird.
me, I just feel like, I'm in a room full of friends and I'm like, "Hi, hey guys," and I'm just hanging out, you know what I mean? That's how I look
Yeah.
at it.
Well,
I'm
talking with
not
you is
looking at 'em.
easier. You've been one easy to talk to, but it's a lot of times it's like, okay, I've had a couple other good Abraham Gray. They all turned out good. But I would be very nervous. Am I gonna be an idiot? Am I gonna forget what I'm gonna say? Am I
Oh,
gonna ask the
no.
questions? I worry about all of that. All of that goes through my head.
But see, you know why? Because 'Cause you're looking at yourself. You gotta not look at yourself. You gotta look at your guest.
Right.
Because nobody's perfect. You can't be all critical of yourself. I mean,
No, and I'm just trying to
we're
get to know
all
'em. That's what I'm trying to it's like, "Hey, I'm just trying to get to know these people and get my name out there and get to know these
yeah.
people and see how they did it." Pretty much is I wanna gear my podcast towards the newbie struggling in real estate because
Mhm.
I've been struggling, and I'm not afraid to admit it, and it's not something easy. This isn't I didn't get into this as a get rich quick, but I
Yeah.
thought it'd be a whole lot freaking easier, and it's not.
So here's what we do. Figure out where the issues are and then come up with a way that we can help all the people that came in and would have the same kind of issues as you. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Exactly, but I know a lot of the issues are me. Me, I hang up myself on certain things,
But it's not you. It's not
Some
you.
of it is, some
It's
of it
not just you. Like, I would venture to say more than half of the people who join Subto are in the exact same spot that you
right,
are right now.
right, but we get into a spot and it's like, our mindset isn't right, so we start telling us okay,
I
and
don't know if it's the mindset
part
as
of it's
much.
mindset.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with you don't feel confident enough in what you're doing. You're afraid you might be left holding the bag. You're afraid you might not have the money to do what you need to do. You're afraid it might end up not being a good deal. And you know what I mean? These kind of things. And I think it's more those things than it is your mindset. Does that
Mindset,
make
what
sense?
that's it's mindset, and then also, okay, yeah, I feel like an imposter on a lot of stuff because I don't know how to negotiate terms or don't really know how to
Right.
go into it. And then, the other thing I just don't know where I fit, seeing the whole deal. I can do certain parts, but then there's certain parts I'm just like, "Man, where do I go with that? Where do I go?
That's what I'm saying.
How am I gonna take that?"
You lack the knowledge and the experience, and it's just the confidence, not the mindset. And it's
Confidence.
the
Yeah.
confidence and the knowledge.
There's not a whole lot of confidence. I can talk to people. I'm confident with talking to people. Am I confident pitching sub 2 or doing sales all the time? Not
Mhm.
100%. Even with my sales that I do on drones, I'm not super confident all the time. I think I need to work on my confidence. Don't know how
Mhm.
to get that, but that's also part of mindset, I think. So
I've
it's
done sales a lot too, and let me tell you, like, when I really know a lot and believe in something,
it's
I
easy.
could I could sell ice to an Eskimo. So, like, when I was at Palm Beach Tan, I loved the lotions. I wanted to go to the lotion conference when I was a customer.
Right, see, now when I played guitar and I did bands and I worked at a music store, I could sell music equipment because there was no fear about it. I knew music equipment. I could talk about music equipment. I could tell people, "This is cool
Right.
shit. This is stuff," and I had confidence in it. See, I don't here's where it's like I've never even bought my own house. I'm 52 years old and never bought my own personal.
Mm.
So buying I went through one time I started trying to, but, it's just like, man, I
You
don't
and I are same age.
yeah, I'm
When
getting
is your
ready
birthday?
May 11th. I'll be 53 in May.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, you're
Mhm.
like a month before me.
Mm.
You'll be 53. I'm June 18th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what's your sign?
Gemini.
Ah, Gemini. Oh, no, you're this double person.
I mean, I'm two people in one.
Mhm. Yep,
So
you can be a firecracker.
that's why I'm so sociable. Oh yeah, I can be a firecracker. And growing up and right next to Baltimore did not help that firecracker thing at all.
Right?
It added to it.
I bet. Excuse me. So,
Yeah,
alright, we're at, like, an hour and 12 minutes. I gotta do dinner. I
we
still gotta
are.
I got
Okay.
dinner for the kid and the
Yes.
mom.
Thank you so much. Oh, you know what? I didn't show everybody if you want to do deals with Todd, here are the kind of deals that he's looking for. If you want to bring him deals, seller finance, subject to and landlord friendly states, off and on market. If you would like to reach out to Todd and work with him or bring him some deals, here's where you can get a hold of him. Here's his Facebook handle and his Instagram handle. Oh my goodness, I didn't put your
Check
YouTube
you
on
out.
here.
Check you out. You got all that on the bottom there.
Spank me hard and call me some
You're
what
making
was that?
I think you got this a little more organized than I do. So,
Right? I kinda like this or something. It's like I like it.
right? So you gotta get a hold of Todd here at Facebook at Todd.Kirchhoff. Yeah, that's Instagram at Todd M. Kirchhoff. You got it.
Yeah, and, like, you like my little podcast background here? I used to have it different every time, and then I found this podcast one with the lights, and I'm like, "Oh, I really like that."
Yeah, someone said the Christmas one was too busy. It was too distracting.
It was. The balls were swinging on the tree and said, yeah, it was. I went to watch that later, and I was like, "Ah, yeah,
Someone
I
else said,
think that
I
would."
don't worry about it." So it's like, what, you
Yeah.
really wanna watch me anyway?
See, I'm extra. I'm
Yeah.
extra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
the new lingo. We didn't use that growing up, but
All right.
okay.
Well,
So, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Todd, for coming on the show.
thank you for having me. I very much appreciate it. A
You're
lot of
welcome. It
fun.
was a pleasure.
And then
Thank
we'll
you,
have to plan
everybody.
one. We'll have to plan one when you get down here. Get down here, get your studio set up, and we'll have to do another one.
Yeah, and practice your guitar because I want you to play.
All right. We'll have to figure out a song that you want me to play. What's one of your songs? Like, name a couple songs you like, rock bands you like, or whatever.
Oh, see, when I was a teenager, I liked Great White Snake, Cinderella, blah blah, like that.
See,
But
I was crazy about Whitesnake with Steve Vai. Steve Vai was my hero guitar player. So when Steve Vai did one of their albums, I was like a huge Whitesnake fan on that album.
yeah. So I mean, it's been a while. I don't, a lot of my friends listen to this same. I'm like, guys, how can you listen to the same songs for like 40 years in a row? I need new stuff.
Right.
I like see Geminis like to change. We're adaptable. We're like flexible. We like fresh new things a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
But you got
I'll listen
dual
to.
personalities. You got a good one and a bad one.
Well, I don't think
With
it's good and bad. I look at it like this. I look at it as my soft twin and my hard twin. So my hard twin, she comes out when business needs to be handled, we need to be protected, some stuff needs to get done, and she's very serious, right?
Mhm.
And then there's my soft twin, and she's like the one that's like, oh my gosh, and she like had so much fun and entertains the whole party, and everybody laughs and has a great time.
All right. Well, I'll
She's
meet
also
that.
the one that does all the thumbnails and the decorating and the artsy fartsies.
All right. So when have I met the other one, the all business? We got to meet that one and get that one on a podcast.
I try to keep her on she's like the elf on a shelf kind of deal. I try to keep
Oh,
her, like sometimes I'll even say like in my DMV group and my local group, I'm like, oh, this caller is going to make Miss Baltimore come out. I am trying to keep his door shut, but she is going to barge right on through.
uh-oh.
Yeah, so she protects us.
All right. I see you got. Well, you didn't. I see your USA. You got your patriotic stuff. I did white, blue, and red, white, and blue lights tonight for my patriotic. I wanted to
Oh,
be patriotic.
nice. Yeah. Okay. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you so much,
Thank
Todd. Thank
you.
you, everybody. Enjoy your dinner, and we'll see you next time.
All right. You have a.